Hi, hello. I don't know whether anybody's here or not, but hello to you if you are. Hi, Sean. How are you doing? I'm trying to do a bit of knitting. It's not very good, but I'm trying. Hey, Nathan. Hi, Craftlit So. Trying to cast on a few stitches. Whether this will work or not is another matter. I'm absolutely sick of sitting here doing nothing, watching the telly. It is so boring. You sat with your coffee. I've got my coffee too. So we've both got our coffees. I'm doing a sham, what I'm knitting with. Weirdy eyelashy wool. It's very strange. I would pick something difficult to try and knit with, wouldn't I? Just have to be awkward, don't I? I don't even know if I'm supposed to be knitting, but I am so fed up of sitting here doing nothing. Just looking at awful things on the telly because there's balls all. It was only a week I was missing, Jean. I didn't make any videos in between because I just didn't feel like it. You wouldn't have thought that a little hand operation, tiny little hand operation, would cause so much pain, but it did. Maybe I'm a wimp in my old age. Oh, for you, you've not been on. Well, I was only missing for a week. Well, I was probably missing for 2 weeks because I've not made any videos for 2 weeks. So I just felt like I had nothing to say. And of course, with having the operation, I wasn't in the mood. I just wanted to sit here and nurse my wounds and feel sorry for myself. I'm not usually like that. So I didn't want to come on, and be a Debbie Downer, you know what I mean? There's enough people come on, don't they, having a whinge and a whine. So I didn't want to add to it. So I thought, no, stay away. Best thing to do, stay away. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 33. I've already had the dogs in twice. Yeah, that's what I thought, Shan. I just thought I'm better off concentrating on just getting. I'm trying to knit, but it's not going very well, as you can imagine. I didn't ask him could I knit or could I crochet. That didn't enter my head at the time. "22, 24, 26, 28, 30. I've got 32 and I should have 33. Hi, Val. Yeah, it's still bruised at the bottom. I can't even point to my own roof. Still bruised at the bottom and all over the palm. But at least I've got rid of the arrow. I got rid of the arrow with nail polish remover. They drew on me with a magic marker, like as if they don't know which is my left hand. So they drew a big arrow on me. So it didn't come off with just washing. Well, I couldn't wash really, but you know what I mean. Soap and water bit on the bits I could wash. At least my big bandage is off now. It is still sore, I won't swear. Oh, good evening, Shad. My necklace is just one that would go over my head tonight. Just, I don't know what you call them, oblongs? Plastic oblongs? I can't fasten any fasteners, so it has to be something that goes over my head. And I had to button my cardigan up because I was having my dinner, and of course I missed my mouse and it went all down my dress. So, so I had gravy all down my dress. So I was looking a bit of a muppet, so I had to button my cardigan up. Still, I have never knitted this slowly in my life. I'm trying not to use my left hand, and that is difficult. I'm trying to only move the right one. Anybody who knits, I tried crocheting, but I used my wrist action more with crocheting than I did with knitting. But of course I have to knit with this kind of wool, don't I, just to be awkward, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's recovering, but it's going to be. I mean, I didn't really ask him about knitting and crocheting. I think I was in shell shock when he said it could be 6 to 8 months before you regain full use of your hand. And I went, what? Don't tell me that. At least with the bandage off, I can do some things. I can't put any pressure on it, and I can't do any gripping. If I try to grip anything, I just... Well, would you believe I'm making a cardigan, Val? It'll probably be the short sleeve one because I haven't got enough for the long sleeve one, but I'm not doing the holes in it. You're still working on your pink one. Hiya, Lizzie, how are you? Yeah, I just keep doing a couple of rows and then having to put it down. Just a couple of rows and then my wrist starts going, and I start wanting to swear at everybody. So I'm just going to warn you now in case the air turns a little bit blue later on. I'm not crocheting, Lizzie, I can't crochet. I'm trying to do a little bit of knitting with not moving my left hand at all, which is a little bit awkward. I'm very, very slow. But at least I'm doing something. I've read about 3 books. I've been bored witless looking at the TV. Because I don't know whether you've noticed lately, but there's absolutely nothing on to watch. We don't have cable telly or anything like that, to watch. So I've just been watching YouTube or something. Hey, I watched Sheila tonight. And my photographs were on. I sent her some photographs of me crochet. Why, your plant's dying. You're binding off a washcloth. Your plant's dying, Sean. I'm not very good with plants. I'm a bit of a kiss of death with plants. Oh. I don't think eyelash yarn was the best thing to start with, really, but it was on 8mm needles, and I thought maybe I'll manage better with big needles, rather than anything small. Oh, I can't turn a page. Oh. Sheila put one of your hats. She put some of my crochet baby things on, and a jacket and a shawl was on tonight's video. She put Val's things on the other week, some of Val's things on. If you watch it, mine was the baby crochet was mostly mine, except there's an orange shawl and a very brightly coloured jacket that I'd made that she put on. Yeah, hit the like button, please. I always forget to say, please like and subscribe. Hi, Ethan. Yeah, I was in no mood to do it last week. Well, the operation was on the Friday. So on the Saturday, I was feeling extremely sorry for myself. So I didn't want to inflict myself upon anybody. I wasn't feeling particularly sociable, if you know what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't think I'm going to do a live. I finished up falling asleep, I think. I certainly wasn't thrilled by the TV. I need to find out if I've got UK TV live or something, because I started watching that Wistable Pearl. Watch 2 episodes and then find it's gone on to UK TV or something. They do that all the time. They get you to start watching something and then they whiz it off on one of the other channels. But you have to subscribe to. Gets on my nerves. I refuse to have subscriptions that cost me money. I don't know whether UK TV is free or not on my Freeview. I'll have to have a look. ITVX. Yeah, it just said UK TV or something. It didn't say ITVX. Live on UK TV. And I didn't see that on my Freeview. I'll have to have a look. I'll get my son to have a look. It happens to me all the time. I start watching something and then they stick it on there. It starts off on drama and then it wazzes off onto something else. And I'm like, ah. Yeah, UK TV Player. That's what I need to get to watch the rest of it. It's like that. You watch 2 or 3 episodes and then it says if you want to watch the next episode or something, you have to pay $2.99 or something. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to pay $2.99 to watch any more episodes. Leave me. They must think we're all loaded with money. I'm in a grouchy mood, can you tell? I have to put a stitch marker on this to tell me which is the right side and the wrong side. Otherwise, I'll be purling on a row where I should be knitting, if you know what I mean. I can only do about 4 rows. Hi, Munchkin. Can only do about 4 rows and then I have to stop for a bit. And then otherwise, my wrist starts to really, really hurt. I can grouch. Oh, thank you, Sian. I've got Sian's permission to grouch right off, buddy. You know when you just feel like... Well, that's what I feel like today. I never realised how much I depend upon crafting, you know, for my sort of mental health or whatever you want to call it, my well-being. I have to do things, you know, all the time. Otherwise... Right. Working garter stitch for 2 rows, ending. It's a good job I looked because I've got to have... You get buying him an RC car or a remote control. Yeah, my son used to have one of those. My dad bought him one when he was probably about 9 months old. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He can't operate a remote control car. Yeah, I'm glad I read my pattern because I would have just started doing purl and I've got to do knit 3 at the end. It's because it needs it for the border, doesn't it? So I'll put my stitch marker on to show that that's the right side. Because you know what it's like with eyelash yarn, you can't tell the right from the wrong. Not that it would really, really matter, but it might do. It might show eventually, yeah. Right, knit 3, purl to the end. As the first and the second row, where's my row counter? I've lost my row counter. Can't do anything without my row counter. Oh, here it is. Have you noticed what I've got up there? I've got an Easter egg. Came from a lady at Knit Club. Sue, she bought me an Easter egg. Well, she bought everybody an Easter egg, but I just thought it sounded better if I said she bought me an Easter egg. Made me sound like the chosen one, didn't it? But no, she bought everybody one. We had a new lady at Knit Club on Wednesday. She had such long hair. She was nearly sitting on it. It was absolutely so long. I never knew hair could grow that long. Mine won't. Mine needs doing. It needs colouring again, but obviously I can't get that wet, so. I've got my great big plastic sleeve that you wear like when you've had a broken arm. I've got one of those. But it still hurts to, shower. You don't realise you use two hands to shower with. You think you might only use one, don't you? But you don't, you use two. So when you haven't got one of them, it's... Last time I had my right one done, it was a long, long time ago, and I still had a bath. So I managed to get in the bath and hold my right hand out of the bath. I didn't wash my hair because my niece came round and washed my hair separately when I had that done. And in between it was the good old dry shampoo, But this time I thought, it's my left hand and I've only got a shower, so I've got to get in. Can't just have a flannel wash. I must admit I've been having a flannel wash, but not every day. You've got to have a shower eventually, don't you? Otherwise people might not want to sit next to you. Still. So what we all doing today? Sian's still doing her pink, whatever it is she's doing. What's everybody else doing? Hi, excuse me. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've got my Easter egg ready. Ready for Sunday. So, right, well, I've done 4 rows, so you're knitting another blanket. I admire your resilience. A granny square blanket. I don't mind doing them for babies. There's not so many granny squares out there, but I don't like doing big things. A pink thing, deciding which pattern for your swirly whirly yarn. I was watching, I have to put my knitting down for a bit, rest my hand. I was watching Derek's knitting and crochet, is it knitting, whatever. He's got some new wool from Woolcraft. It's called Lagoon or something. I did look it up, but I couldn't find it actually. He said it was 100 grams and it had 300 and something yards on it. It looks sort of gradient kind of shading. And he said thought it was about £3 a ball, but I didn't find it. Whether I was looking in the wrong place. I'm sure he said it was from Wool Warehouse. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he said something else. Maybe I need to listen to his video again. But he had one that was called Blue Lagoon, and then he had another one that was like shades of pinks. So, not that I'm in the market for buying any more wool, but I just thought I'd be nosy and just have a look. Because it sounded too good to be true at that price. And he did say it was on offer, so... When I Googled Lagoon, the only one I found was something that was £8 something, and I thought, no, that can't be the right one. Man, it wouldn't surprise me because wool's gone up, well, yarn's gone up so much, hasn't it? Oh, I've got, those 3 fingers are numb, completely numb. I don't know what I'm touching. I don't know what I'm feeling. And I get pains if I make a fist and it hurts. I can't move it backwards. I'm not to move it backwards at all. I've got to keep it like that. Yeah, I'm back, Mimi. I'm in a bit grouchy mood, but I'm back. Yeah, back with the sore handy pandy. I'm trying to knit, but I've only done 4 rows and I've had to put it down. Not very good, is it? Oh, thank you, Katie. I've had nothing to say. You know, I didn't want to make a video when my hand was all bandaged up, just having a whine about my operation, which I probably would have done if I'd have made a video. Oh, woe is me, and I didn't want to do one of them. So I thought, you're better off just staying away. You're better off doing nothing, yeah. Yeah. The hand's getting better, but it's a slow job, Esther, yeah. It's only a little. It's only got 3 stitches. Last time it went all the way down my palm and down my wrist. Last time it was all down there. But this time it's only about the length of that white bit in the middle. But it's blowing sore. The other hand wasn't sore. But that's another story. I don't want to, as I say, I don't want to make a whingy whiny video, yeah. Oh, you got some, did you? Yarnsmith Lagoon. How much was it, Amanda? Maybe I was looking up the wrong thing, yeah. My Kung Fu grip, it's not doing any good at all. I'm trying to do a bit of knitting, Chris, but it's not going very well. When he said 6 to 8 months before I recover, I nearly fell off the... Oh, that's not bad, is it? 275 people. 300 and something yards on it there is, yeah. No, I've not had the stitches out yet, so I don't need any honey at the moment. And in actual fact, it's very tiny, the scar this time.
Motion detected at your front door.
Yeah. Somebody at the front door. Probably my son decided to get something for his tea. This hand I was knitting really within about a week or so when I had the right one done. I shouldn't have been, but I did, and it didn't have any effect. But this one, I do about 4 rows and then I have to put it down for a while, yeah. I'm just so bored. Bored, not doing my knitting on my crochet. I've read 2 books. Looked at the YouTube. Yeah, 340 meters. If you're watching Derek's knitting and crochet, is it called knitting and stitching or something? He was showing this Yarnsmith's Lagoon. I was just mentioning it before from Wool Warehouse. Amanda's bought some. It's $2.75 plus postage, of course, for 340 meters. It looks very nice. It's like a gradient shaded. I like the blue that he got. It was called Blue Lagoon. I wasn't keen on the pink one, but then I'm not a pink person. Maybe they do purple or lilac. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to have a look. Not that I'm supposed to be buying anything, but it's kind of a bit daft me looking because I'm not knitting or crocheting, so I'm like, stop looking. But when people show me things on YouTube, I think, oh yeah, I want to have a look at that. Have a look at that. Cost you £16 for cakes, yarn cakes or cakes. Cakes to eat or yarny cakes. Yarn cakes, I'll let you off them. I'm trying to keep away from cakes. Although, being as it's Easter, my treat today is a cream egg. How am I feeling? Sore. Yeah, I've got through my stock in the shed. I think I need help with that, Val. Definitely need help with that. I think I'll be dead before I get through that yarn stash in the shed. I've not really bought a lot, though. Not last year I didn't, if you think about it, yeah. Oh, you'd like a cream egg, yeah? They're nice, aren't they? Bit sickly, and they're loaded up with calories. And I shouldn't be having one, but they're nice. Oh, I try to limit myself, Sina. I try to limit myself to 1 or 2 treats a week, yeah. Yeah. Although my blood sugars were, they stabbed me, obviously, when I went to the hospital, stabbed me to make sure my blood sugars were fine, absolutely perfect they were. Although I can't get the injections again. Out of stock again. Oprah and her friends are all jabbing themselves with them, so, you know, there's none left for me, is there? Oh, I'll try again. I've got to go on Thursday to have the stitches taken out. Yeah, Easter treats don't count, do they, Mimi? It's like birthday calories don't count, do they, when you have birthday cakes and things like that? They don't count. And chocolate at Christmas doesn't count, does it, you know? I reckon if I'm good for most of the week, you know, it's not, yeah, 177 calories, which is 177 more than I should be having, Val, but that's by the by. But yeah, I'm going to have side effects again when I finally get them again, which probably will be another 2 or 3 weeks before I get them again. It's so maddening, you know, having to go through all the side effects all over again. Yeah. You should reserve them for the people. I've cut down on a lot, Val. It's not showing on me. I'm not losing much weight, except in my face. My face has gone all wrinkles, yeah. Oh my God, Sean. You got to have your bloods redone. Tell those white hemoglobins to behave themselves. Do you know we're at the mercy, aren't we, of drugs and God knows what? You think, am I taking the right meds here? Am I taking them? Are they doing me any good? I've got to be really, really cynical these days, you know, saying, why am I taking these? What are they for? What will happen if I don't have them, you know? You get a bit that way, don't you, when you have to line them all up in a row every night to take them all. You know, half a pint of liquid to get all your meds down, yeah. Oh, that's one good thing, Shan. Yeah. Yay for the menopause. Men don't know they've got all this, do they? They don't have all this. I didn't really have a lot of symptoms, except I wanted to kill people now and again. I used to plot ways to kill people when I was that way inclined. I never did, of course, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't still be here, would I? I'll be locked up somewhere. It does send you a little bit strange. Well, I don't think I've ever recovered, to be quite honest. I think I'm still a bit strange. But, yeah, the mental pause, as they call it, yeah. Bagum. Oh, God, fingers. Look at that. You can tell I'm not using that hand. Look at all the nails on that hand. No nails on that hand. Yeah, I like watching crime docs, yeah. I've been watching Murder Calls. I've been eking it out because I don't want it to end. Hi, Christine. I don't want it to end because when it ends, I won't have anything to watch. It's an Australian drama, but it's on catch-up thing. And I'd never seen it before, so luckily I had like 3 series to plough my way through. But I'm up to series 3 and I don't want it to end yet. I've even watched Hamish Macbeth all the way from the beginning, although it's nothing like the books. Completely different stories to the books. I'm sure MC Beaton never had any hand in writing the screenplays for them. Because I'm like, who's that? I mean, the main characters in Hamish Macbeth were the same. But in the books, like the Major, whatever it was, he opened up a hotel, which he doesn't in the series. And his daughter dies in the TV series, which she doesn't in the books. So I'm just a bit bewildered. I think you should either read the books or watch the TV. I don't think you should watch both of them because they're not the same, are they? You know, you're waiting for things that were in the book to turn up, aren't you? And they don't. So maybe, you know. And it's same with Agatha. Oh, God, Agatha Christie for about the 17th time. I've been trying my best to find something I haven't seen before. Vera, I've seen them all twice or three times before. It's the same with Pasco and Dalí, is it called Dalil and Pasco? Seen all them about 3 times before. And even that, not The Lost Detective, what's it called, with Peter Davidson? Yeah, Touch of Frost, Morse, Cracker. We've seen them all 3 or 4 times before, haven't we? You just shout whoopee when you actually find one you've never watched before. No, I'm still looking for one on Netflix. Although, like I say, I did find that Murder Calls, yeah. Dalil and Pasco, it's called, yeah. It's written Dalziel, but it's pronounced Dalil, I think. Dalil and Pasco. But hi, Yolanda. Hi. Yeah, you get a new thing, don't you? Well, I started watching Whitstable Pearl, and it's gone on to UK TV Play now. It was on drama before. So I'll look for next week's to, you know, do my bookmark thing. And for next week, not there. Not there. So I watched episode 1, episode 2, and now it's gone. I'll have to try and find it on UK Play or something. And then I watched another one called Harry, something with Harry. That went on UK Play or went on something or other, and I couldn't watch that anymore. Yeah, I watch a lot on drama, but then you get into it and then they swap it over to a channel where you have to subscribe. Hi, Denise. It's like I have UK Amazon Prime. But even then, all the good things you have to pay extra for. You don't get them good ones free. They might give you a tempting 1 episode for free, and then if you want to watch the rest, it's $2.99 an episode. Like, yeah, buzz off. Because once you start subscribing, you can't unsubscribe, yeah? Oh, the Yorkshire Ripper, there's been a few, yeah. I watch the crime programmes. I must be gory. I used to sit and watch Cops every Saturday night. Bad boys, bad boys. Used to watch that every Saturday night. And thinking, it's no wonder those policemen don't catch anybody because they were all severely overweight. Puffing and puffing, trying to chase some lithe, agile perpetrator, as they call them, don't perp. He'd be running down the street umpteen miles an hour, and then this overweight policeman going behind you. Myra Hindley and what's it called? Ian Brady. Myra Hindley. She was one heck of a person, she was. That Lord Linley, whatever he was called, saying she was reformed. She ain't reformed, never. We have British cop ones, yeah. We have the ones where they're more or less chasing people up and down motorways and things like that. But it's the same with ambulance. Some of the ambulance drivers, honestly, they're so overweight. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but, you know, if somebody was going to give me CPR, they should have to pass something, you know. If you can't run so many yards or you can't do this, you're not in the force or something. Yeah, the US cops, gosh, they couldn't catch a cold, some of them, could they? I used to like watching the firemen in the US because they were all pretty fit, you know. Probably all that climbing up and down ladders. Man, they have to go through fitness tests, don't they, the firemen? So they have to stay pretty much in shape. I used to think, ooh, man in uniform, yeah. Oh, I was around, sadly, when the Ripper was around and when Ian Brady and Myra Hindley were around, yeah. Sadly, I was alive then. Yeah, some of the British EMTs need a diet, don't they? I'm not being awful, but it's their job, isn't it, to be lithe and, you know, be able to rescue people, things like that. I mean, if they were just ordinary civilians, it doesn't matter what shape they're in, does it? But I mean, if the firemen and policemen and EMTs, they should at least have some. God, there was a. Last time I went to the Blackpool hospital, there was a nurse waddling her way up the corridor, and I'm looking at her thinking, no, love, no. You know, then they're saying to me, oh, you're vastly overweight, you're obese. And I'm like, looking out the corner of my eye at this nurse going up the corridor like twice the size of me. And I'm like, what about her? Tell her. But they don't, you know. Victimization or whatever it'll be. You're not allowed to pick on people. You're not allowed to say things like that anymore. Yeah, mine in the good old days. I mean, my doctor when I was a girl, he used to be sitting at his desk chain smoking, and he had an ashtray full of dimps. You know, when you went into surgery, you could barely see him for the smog. But I suppose in those days we didn't know much about the cancer and stuff on cigarettes. You know, that came much later on. I'm talking when I was a little girl. And you went to see the doctor. And he was and I don't think they were even filter tips back in the day, were they? I used to have a lovely friend, ashtray full of dimps, you know, the tab ends, whatever. You're going to have to pause me when I eat my Easter treat. Ooh, shall I go? How you meet me? Yeah, they probably were wood pine. A Capstone full strength, my friend's dad used to smoke. Capstone full strength. Oh, God. I used to stay over at her house sometimes at the weekend. Yeah, dimps we used to call them, dimps or cigarette butts, yeah. Yeah, they used to call them dimps. I don't know why they called them a dimp, but they did. I used to stay overnight, and I used to hate going in the bathroom because her dad would get up and he'd be coughing and coughing and coughing in the bathroom. And if you went in, like, you know, as you got up, you wanted a wee. As you went in, it was like, because he'd be there having his wee or whatever, and with his paper, smoking his Capstan full strength. No window open, of course, yeah. But that was the way it used to be, yeah. I used to go into clubs when I was 16, 17, go in the dance hall clubs and that, and you couldn't see across the floor. Couldn't see for all the cigarettes, yeah. It's amazing how there's differences in the language, though, isn't there? You know, what we can't say or what the Americans say that we fall about laughing at because it means something completely different in the UK. I think we're more used to American isms than Americans are used to British isms because we have a lot of American TV. So I think we've sort of absorbed a lot of their words through TV. Yeah, funny. Yeah, by the time I was working, I mean, I worked at first in a bank, and for obvious reasons, they weren't allowed to smoke on, you know, the desk because they were handling money or something like that. You could set fire to some pound notes, £5 notes or something. Um, and then I worked in the shop, and nobody smoked in the shop, I don't think. We had one lady who worked with us who used to smoke, but she used to go outside for a cigarette. She didn't smoke in the shop. Because it's dangerous, really, you know, if you're working with anything that can be flammable. You know, if you work, I know yarn doesn't really readily burn, but, you know, my mum and dad were always, you know, conscious of anybody like burning anything, you know, like a cigarette or anything, and not putting it out properly, and, you know, the shop going up in flames or something like that. You know, it was always a scare, really. When you work in a shop that has fabrics or anything like that, you're always scared of a fire. Yeah. You mentioned you were pissed. Yeah, that's two different words in England. It can mean you're drunk, and it can mean quite the other way, yeah, as well. Uh-huh. No, exactly. Yeah, you don't want your yarn. I bought a jacket the other day. It was only a fiver. It was off eBay. It was like a furry jacket. I don't even know if I like it, but it absolutely stunk of cigarettes. I've had to spray it with that Febreze stuff and that. And I'm like, oh God, this is awful. I mean, it's faded a bit now. I've sprayed it with Febreze and I've hung it outside. And yeah, you just don't think of anybody smoking, you know, and selling things anymore. Because I always put when I'm selling anything, it's from a smoke-free, you know, home. I mean, I used to say a pet-free, but I can't say that now. Although the dogs don't come anywhere near me, well, because it's in the shed. But, you know, I'd hate to think one little dog hair got on something and somebody was allergic to it or something. But I cannot honestly say it's a smoke-free zone because nobody smokes in the house. I mean, I've heard of people buying wool, you know, second-hand wool from charity shops, thrift shops or whatever, and it absolutely stinks. And there's always things on Facebook, you know, how do I get rid of a nicotine smell, you know, from yarn or something like that. You know, if you can bear to crochet with it or bear to knit with it, once you've washed it, it's usually all right. Hiya, Jill. It's healing slowly. It hurts and I can't straighten it out properly yet, but it's getting there. So send your healing energy my way, Jill. Send away, send away. I need all the good wishes I can get. Yeah. It hurt a lot more than this operation, yeah. You had cat hair. Oh, I don't know which is worse. I keep all my yarn and stuff well away from the dogs. You know, obviously I store it in the shed, which is, you know, the dogs don't go in there. So if I do sell any yarn, it's not been near the dogs at all. When I had Buster, it was different. I used to crochet Buster in everything I made. I could never say it was a pet-free zone when I made anything. I used to be going over it with one of them lint rollers, you know, trying to find, and tweezers, trying to find dog hairs in anything I made before I sent it off. I used to wash everything, you know, and block it all out. It's so hard when you have pets to keep them away from your stuff. It floats in the air, doesn't it? They don't have to sit on anything. Yeah, cats are the worst, though. Cats will sit on everything. But I think cats just like yell. Oh. At least Rosie doesn't pinch me balls of bull anymore and dance with them all around the garden anymore like she used to when she was a puppy. You working on a campfire cardigan? I don't think I've made this. I've made umpteen. I did make one, but it, you know, since I lost weight, it was miles too big because it was big anyway. They are a bit oversized, aren't they? I'm not into oversized anymore. So many, oh, I was heartbroken the other day. I decided to put on my, you know, that granny square jacket I've got in bright colours. The long one, the full length one, the granny takes a trip. It absolutely drowns me. And I'm like, I don't know whether I can salvage it. It's just falling off my shoulders. It's so big. So I was like 4 stone heavier when I made it, which is 4 times 14, whatever that is, 28, 56 pounds lighter. Heavy when I made it. So it's miles too big for me now. Yeah, if I make a campfire cardie, I want to narrow the sleeves because I don't like massive big sleeves, yeah. But I'm not as big as I used to be, so my sleeves wouldn't be as wide because you make it like an L shape if you don't know what a campfire cardigan is. You make like an L shape and then you sew it up the back. And so according to when you do it, you get wide sleeves if you keep on going, yeah. Yeah, Kelly made one where she managed to narrow the sleeves down, but I don't remember what she actually did. And all her videos have disappeared, so. Blues and purples and greys, yeah. Yeah, I was saying before, I sent some email photos to Sheila. You know, Sheila's knitting thing, and she put some of my photos on her slideshow today. So there's one of my bright coloured jacket that I didn't keep, that Frida Kahlo style one, but I need to make one for myself again. It takes so much. It doesn't take so much wool. per se. It just takes so many colours of wool. And of course, if you want certain colours, you've got to buy all these one balls. So it costs a blooming fortune if you buy all the right stuff. And to be quite truthful, the wool that it was done in, they don't make it anymore. So you'd have to have substitutions. It was done in Arran, I think it was. Somebody's Arran. And they don't do it anymore. I'm going to open my bottle if I can open it with one hand. Managed it. Managed. That's my foam settling down. You sent photos for, yeah, I sent them. Mine were on today. There were quite a few baby things, and there was an orange, different coloured oranges shawl, and then there was that brightly coloured jacket with the flower pockets. They were mine. But mostly it was baby stuff. Yeah, those sleeves are too wide on the campfire, aren't they? I suppose they make them like that because it's easier. Hi, Amanda. Yeah, I'm glad to say I've got 39 thumbs up, so thank you all very much. I don't know quite how it helps, but it does help with the algorithms or something to help you. Apparently, the more thumbs up you get and the more likes and subscribes you get, the more YouTube are likely to recommend your videos to other people to watch. So that's probably why nobody else views my videos. YouTube doesn't recommend me. Yeah, the sleeves are so big if you don't alter them, aren't they, Lydia? Yeah. Yeah, some people are very good. Yeah, the clocks go forward. I lose an hour's sleep tonight. Ugh. Yeah, remember everybody, you've just got used to the time for me. And now you have to get used to it again because our clocks go forward. So I'll be starting an hour earlier to you, yeah. Next week, if you're in America, I'll be starting an hour earlier than I am doing tonight, yeah. It usually means I'll be talking to myself for the first hour and then people come in and say, oh, you're already here. Yeah, it goes, oh. I nearly swore then. Oh, I didn't do anything. It just went up my hand. Oh. You were very lucky I didn't swear then. That blooming hurt. And I didn't do anything. I didn't make a fist. I didn't do anything. I just put my hand down and it just shot up my hand. And oh my goodness me. That was breath stopping. I thought I got past that. All last week it was like electric shocks going zoop, 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 up my hand. I thought it had stopped doing that. Yeah, it was a nerve pain. It went right down my hand and up my wrist. It was like somebody jabbed something in me. Ooh. Nerves have got a lot to... I get them in my back, obviously. We don't go into that, but I get them in my back. I'm not used to having them in my hands. Hi, Ella. I want to do some more knitting, but after that pain in my wrist, I don't think I should. I've only done 4 rows. The right one, it's about 12 years, I think I had the right one done. But it wasn't as painful an operation as this one was. I just don't remember. I know your memory plays tricks on you as you get older, but yeah, oh, mine itch, yeah. It's the numbness I can't abide. You know, like when you get pins and needles and you feel like everything's numb, you get pins and needles in your feet sometimes, don't you? I don't know whether you do or not. If you've had your feet crossed wrong, you get pins and needles in them. And then when you try to put your foot down, you can't really feel the floor, can you? It feels weird. Well, that's the sensation I've got in those 3 fingers. I know I'm touching something, but I can't feel it, if you know what I mean. And I'm always dropping things. I don't know. I never thought to ask him when I could crochet again. I Googled it, and some people were saying, oh, after a week, you're fine. You know, I was crocheting and knitting after a week, I was fine. And then other people are saying, oh, no, 6 to 8 months. I'm like, what? Before you get a full use back. I'm not asking for full use back. I'm asking for, can I do it? I mean, I can do it at the minute, but the surgery didn't take 2 minutes, really. It was probably about half hour, an hour at the most. Paresthesia, is it called? What were they? You get numb fingers, yeah. I've been trying to knit now, Jill, but I can only do a couple of, well, I've done 4 rows and then I had to put it down because my hand was hurting. But I'm so bored. I can't stand sitting here doing nothing. Can't stand looking at the telly doing nothing. It's driving me nutty. Yeah, it's sort of like an eyelashy stuff. It's in Shan's department there. She likes knitting fluffy. I don't know what it's called. It was some I got on eBay. Woolcraft Fabulous, it's called. It'll probably finish up with short sleeves because I don't have enough to do long sleeves. No, it's a jacket. Would you believe I have to be different? I don't do scarf. I've got what do you call them? A cowl that wraps over with buttons in the shed, made in very, very similar yarn. I was doing that without the holes, but it'll probably turn out to be that without the holes. I very rarely wear a scarf, yeah. Yeah, my feet do that. I've got neuropathy, which is good, isn't it? When you're walking. It's a new pattern. It's a new pattern, Yolanda. It's supposed to be done in Mystique. It's Stylecraft Mystique it's supposed to be done in. And it's a new pattern because I had to pay full price for it on eBay. I think they still do the yarn. Yeah. It's on 8mm needles, so it's like I suppose a super chunky, really. It looks like a flat ribbon when I looked it up on, I Googled it. It looked like a flat ribbon, which I cannot knit with. I flick my wool when I knit, so if I knit with a flat yarn, it finishes up like twisted like that, and it looks awful. Years and years ago, Jaeger used to do one. It was a flat ribbon. It was beautiful. And I knitted something in it, and then all the twisty bits sort of unravelled, and I kept getting all these loops like sticking out all over what I knitted. It was a right mess. Oh, the random buzzing, yeah. My feet, when I get in bed, are the worst. They go zzz, bzz, bzz, bzz. It's like fizzing. It's like having fizzy lemonade inside your feet. I'm very good at descriptions, aren't I? Fizzy lemonade in your feet when you get in bed. Yeah. Stops you going to sleep. You can be dead tired, but when your feet go bzz, 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 it's a bit hard to get to sleep. Then when the feet stop, the hand starts going zit, zit, zit. And I'm like, oh, please, let's get to sleep, please. So then you go and take a painkiller, don't you, or a muscle relaxer, and then you zonk out and you don't hear anything until lunchtime the following day. And you think, I've wasted all morning. I hate it when I get up and it's a gorgeous sunny day and I've not woken up till 12 o'clock because I've taken a painkiller or I've taken, worse, a muscle relaxer. They just knock me flying, yeah. I can't knit with ribbon yarn. It just twists. I've got some gorgeous yarn in the shed. It's ice yarn and it's beautiful and it's all shades of like purples and aubergines and it's in a flat silky ribbon. And I've tried twice to knit with it or do something with it, and I thought, I am not selling this beggar because I love the colours and I love the texture of it so much. I'm determined to do something with it, but I don't know quite what, because like it twists when I start to knit with it or crochet. And yeah, it's so beautiful. I can't just sit and look at it on the shelf thinking, oh, beautiful yarn, that pat, pat, pat. I do that with my hand-dyed yarn, you know, my sock yarn that I paid a fortune for, hand-dyed sock yarn. I pat it because it's so beautifully soft and gorgeous, and I refuse to make a pair of socks with it. I doubt it, Val. It just twists when I try to knit with it. It's the way I knit. I flick my wool when I knit, somehow or another. My mother could knit with it. She finished up. I had to unravel the ribbon I did. And she knitted it for me, and it was fine when she knitted it. But when I knitted it, oh God, looked like cheap rat's arsey wool, yeah. I don't think it would go through the needles of an Addy machine because it's about that wide, flat. When you try to knit with it, it just goes into a twist. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's beautiful though. I've tried knitting it once. It didn't work. I tried crocheting it once. I thought, oh, it'll make a great bag, you know. Sadly, no. But I've never been successful making a bag. I don't know if anybody else has done. The only one I made a granny square one for a friend one time, and I lined it all. Oh, ladder ribbons. Oh, that is... Ugh. I could probably weave it if I could keep it flat. But then it would curl up when you washed it, wouldn't it? I did a blanket one time and I wove ribbon in and out of it. And I finished up having to flatten it all out and catch it with hand sewing because the ribbon just shunted up the minute it was washed. It didn't lay flat anymore. I made a lovely job of this blanket and I'd woven it through all the ends and tied bows at each corner. And it was gorgeous. But when it was washed, all the ribbon just went and just shunted up. So I had to go round it, hand stitching. Oh, hand stitching all the ribbon, get it to stay laid flat. What a job that was. I made a mesh fruit bag one time. You know, you put some fruit in it and you're dragging it on the floor out because it's gone. You have to line them. You can't do anything if you don't line a bag because they just droop. My friend in Scotland, she made some lovely purses a while back. She made them in like the rainbow random, like the boho spirit stuff. And she did them all in that, oh, what did he call it? Looks like leaves, interlocking leaves, crocodile stitch. She did it all in that. Oh, they were lovely. She had a real trouble though getting them in to stay into the, the clip bit where the clip goes over like that. She had a right job getting them into them. She did manage to find some clips, some purse clips that had holes through, so she could sew them through. But they were coming from China, and they took so long to come. And then, as usual, they put the price up, didn't they? So, but she sold quite a few of them, yeah. I never got one off. I should have done, shouldn't I? I need to make a new granny. Mine's too big now. It's just massive. And I don't want to part with it. And I keep looking at it thinking, how can I make it smaller? And I can't really. It's like a 3/4 jacket all done in different coloured squares. But the sleeves like dangling over me, It's like a kid wearing his big brother's jumper. I keep looking, thinking, can I take one row of squares off the sleeves and can I crochet them tighter? That would solve the sleeve problem, but it wouldn't solve the part where it keeps falling off my shoulders because it's too big. It used to look so smart when I wore it. It was my best going out, if you know what I mean. And I put it on the other day thinking, I looked at myself in the mirror. I thought, you look like you've got your mum's, like you were a kid wearing your mum's sweater. I know it's fashionable to be oversized, but that was ridiculous. It just didn't fit anywhere. These really skinny girls can pass off, can't they, oversized things. They put belts around them and pouch them up and make them look great, don't they? But when you're a bit on the bigger side, they don't look good being pouched. You look like a paper bag tied in the centre. It's just not a good look. God, if you're skinny, you can wear anything, can't you? You can wear a 50-inch bust sweater when you're skinny and put a belt round it to look fantastic. But if I wore a 50-inch sweater with a belt round, I'd look like you said, a paper bag tied in the centre. Still, will I be able to wear anything flimsy this year? Or short-sleeved this year? I've got one rail in my wardrobe that I've put my short-sleeved blouses and tops. And I don't think I've worn one of them last year. But I'm not getting rid of them because I keep thinking, yeah, you could. But they don't look right with a cardigan on top of them because they're always like floral or flowery or something, yeah. You're going to bed now, you lightweight, Val. You lightweight person. It's that injection, Are you sure they haven't given you, what is it, Valium? Yeah, I won't be long. I won't be staying on till midnight tonight, so I'll be going to my beddy bones. I know my limits. I'll be going to bed about 11. Yeah, you won't get much sense out of me at 7 in the morning, I'm afraid, Val. You might get a few swear words, but carefully chosen, of course, so as not to offend. Hi, BB. How you doing? Bye now. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I had a drink in my right hand, so I had to wave with my left one. Oh. Oh gosh. We all watch our weight, but some people are totally obsessed. I mean, I used to hear about models back in the 60s. I don't know whether they're still the same. They probably are. But used to only eat, like, a couple of Tic Tac mints or something all day long. They wouldn't eat anything. I mean, I'm concerned about my weight, but not to that extent, yeah. Oh, have you got oatmeal or something to put in your bath? Or have they give you some of that stuff that you put in, what's it called? That they give you when you got psoriasis, it stops you itching. I can't eat a lot of food. I know I look as though I should. I eat a bit and then I'm full, and then maybe 3-4 hours later, I'm hungry again. I drink without ice. The ice is in the garage, in the freezer in the garage, and I'm not going out there just to get 2 ice cubes. If it was in the kitchen, the freezer, I would go and get some ice. My drink was in the fridge, that's all I will say. It was in the fridge before I brought it in here. Yeah, I seem to have a small stomach. I can be hungry and I want something to eat, and then I eat a little bit of it, and then I'm full. And then I eat like half of the dinner or whatever, and then I can't eat the rest of it. I mean, tonight they weren't making their dinner, they weren't doing anything. So my son said, "What do you want?" I said, "I'll have pudding and chips from the chip shop." I ate the pudding and I ate maybe half a dozen of the chips, but the rest of them had just gone in the bin. Yeah. I couldn't eat any more chips. Maybe 6 chips I ate, and then the rest went. I couldn't eat anymore. I just couldn't. I mean, the last couple of times I've been out for meals, it's just a waste, really, because I went out with the girls the other week and I had scampi and chips. I ate the scampi and I ate about 3 chips, but then the rest I had to leave. It just feels like it goes here and then it stops. It just doesn't go down. I mean, now I can still taste my pudding, if you know what I mean. It's still stuck. It's not gone down. So I'm going to warn whoever it is who doesn't want to watch me eat my egg. I'm going to eat my cream egg now. I can go all day on a slice of toast, me. I'll get up in the morning and I'll have a slice of toast, and that'll be me then till tea time. I don't know why I'm not losing weight, yeah. I'm going to enjoy my egg. Whoever doesn't want to watch me eat my egg, look away now. I'll tell you when I've finished eating it. Well, I will if I ever get in the egg. Have you ever noticed they're very sticky eggs these days, as if they leak? They always have where they're joined together. They're like 2 pieces joined together, aren't they? And a lot of them, can you see, they're not joined together properly, so they leak. Yeah. Oh, I'd be a joy at one of those all-you-can-eat buffets. I'd be the one they wanted to come in. All you could eat would probably fit on one little plate, yeah. You like it frozen? Oh, I'd have to go out to the shed, wouldn't I? The garage to get to the freezer. I've not had one frozen. I've not even had a deep fried one either, like they do some people have. I might do, Lydia, if the freezer was in the kitchen, but I'm not going outside. I love a salad. But even these days, I can't eat the salad. When I lived on my own, I kept my chocolate in the fridge. But now, if I went to the fridge, it'd all be gone because somebody would have beaten me to it, you know. Not that I buy much chocolate these days. I used to always have loads of chocolate in the fridge because I used to eat the bar nearly every single day. But now, of course, since the insulin threat and insulin scare, I've stopped. Yeah, I used to have a chocolate bar every single day, at least one. Then I used to have chocolate biscuits or whatever. But I've had to stop all that. Now I try to limit myself to just two naughties a week. 3 if I'm very naughty, but not every day. My mum used to do that when we were kids. Cut the Mars bar in little slices. That was because it was on ration, of course. I had to share it with my brother. I don't like Snickers because I don't like peanuts. I'll tell you what I don't like. Salted caramel. It's in everything. I don't eat it as much as I used to. I used to get cravings for chocolate. I had to have a bar of chocolate. But now, no. I try to limit it, like I said, to maybe 2, at the most 3 a week, yeah. I don't like peanuts. I like the monkey nuts. Are they called monkey nuts? That you have to crack open. You know, the ones you feed to the squirrels and that. And I used to eat the peanuts and raisins, you know, because they weren't salted. But I don't like, you know, Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds. I once bit into a Magnum ice cream not knowing it was pistachio. Oh my goodness me. I can still recall that. Oh, what a shock. I had to eat it because I had to eat that bit that was in my mouth in company, but then I had to put the rest down. I couldn't eat it. So it melted into a gooey mess on my plate because we were out for a meal. And don't ask me why. This restaurant didn't do desserts, but they brought us all little mini magnums. And I bit into mine thinking it was a magnum, you know, a little mini magnum ice cream. Oh, pistachio. I mean, they should have asked. They should have said, are you allergic or something? And I could have been allergic. I'm not allergic to nuts, but I could have been. They just gave me this, said it was a magnum, and I just thought it was an ordinary magnum. I didn't know it was pistachio. Yeah, everything that was caramel is now salted caramel, isn't it? Somebody's been looking at my wrinkles really and decided I need Botox then. Maybe I do, but I'm terrified of injecting anything in my face. Oh, dear me. I'm not allergic to peanuts. I just don't like the taste of nuts. I hate it when they used to put nuts on top of your ice cream. You go somewhere, won't you, for a banana split or an ice cream, and without asking you, they would put these nuts all over the top of it. And I'm like, oh. At least now they do usually ask. But it's like I don't remember anybody being allergic to anything. I know my cousin used to have goat's milk, but not because she was allergic to cow's milk. It was just that they thought that was causing her eczema. Oh, God, I don't want nuts in things. When they put nuts in fruit cake. I can remember my sister-in-law used to buy this fantastic Christmas pudding that she paid the earth for. And I used to be there picking bits of nuts out. My plate would be littered with bits of nuts all the way around it. And she said, oh, I do it every year, don't I? Forget that you don't eat nuts. No, I'm not intolerant to them, Shan. I can't say I'm allergic to them, intolerant to them. I just don't like the taste. I don't like the texture and I don't like the taste. It's like, and I get a nut in my mouth. I am the same with pineapple and I'm the same with coconut. I'm not allergic to either of them, but I don't want them in my dinner. Oh, talking about biting into wood, my friend was talking to me about, do you remember the licorice that used to look like roots? And you chewed it and it went all yellow on the end. So I thought, I've seen some of that on Amazon. I'll get her some, because she's always giving things to me. So I thought I'll get her some for a surprise. So I got some and I thought there was quite a number of sticks and I thought, I'll take one out and have a chew, see if it tastes the same. No, it didn't. I was like, for ages, kind of chew it. It was horrible. So I gave it to her and she goes, oh, you found me some. I said, God help your teeth. Please, God help your teeth. I've not had any allergy tests. I'm allergic to sunflower seeds, would you believe, and sunflowers, and bees and wasps. But then a lot of people are allergic to bees and wasps. When I get stung, all my mouth swells up. I got stung in the garden last year, I think it was, bringing in the washing. I got stung on my hand. Oh, and I'm like, oh, please, no, because my tongue was bleh. And I don't have an EpiPen because they said I didn't have a bad enough reaction to have an EpiPen. But sunflowers and sunflower seeds, my eyes just go like frogs. They just bloat up with water. Little froggy eyes I get. The last time I had a reaction, my neighbour across the road had to drive me to the hospital because I couldn't see anything. When I went in and the doctor said, oh, wonderful. I thought, that's not from where I am. Wonderful. He said, it's been a long time since I saw such a wonderful reaction. It's fabulous. I said, it's not fabulous. I can't see. I had to have an injection in my bum for that. It worked though. The eyes did go down. But I had this baggy, crepey eyes. You know, like a balloon goes down. I don't think they've recovered ever since. But that was through my friend bought me some sunflowers. And I said, put them well away from me. I can't go near them. And I didn't. She said, oh, I didn't realise you were allergic to them. She says, I'll put them in the kitchen. I'll put them way away from where you are. Don't water them or anything. She said, when I come round next time, I'll see to them. Didn't touch them, didn't go near them. Still had the eyes, yeah. So when I go to theatre, they say, what are you allergic to? I said, bees, wasps, and sunflower seeds. And they go, well, we don't have any sunflower seeds and sunflowers in the operating theatre. I said, well, I'm fine then. We only want to know if you're allergic to latex and stuff like that they might use, or metals, you know. My mum was sensitive to some metals. Nickel, I think, was one of them. They used to have nickel in, you know, the ends of suspenders. She used to have to get plastic ones and sew them onto her corsets. God, that's an old day, isn't it? The old-fashioned corsets. I mean, corsets today, people think, ooh la la, don't they? You know, folie bergère and all that. My mum's were not like that at all. She had the corsets with the steel bones up them, you know, because of her back, yeah. Well, it's awful when you get allergies, when you get itches from things. I get itches sometimes when I've eaten things and I think, what the heck have I eaten? And it's something that I've eaten many times in the past. And for some reason or other, I get an allergic reaction when I eat it. It comes from nowhere. I'm like, oh, and I've come out all of these blotches. They usually only last a few hours and then they go. But I don't go running to A&E, yeah. How was my knit club? I didn't go to the Wednesday afternoon one. I didn't go to the Monday one because I was still, you know, not right. And I didn't think I could handle the scooter with one hand because it was still blooming sore and I had that big bandage on. And on the Wednesday lunchtime, I thought, no, can't go all the way to Cleveland's with one hand. And then my friend Val, who's just gone off to go to bed, she picked me up for my evening knit club. And of course, this Monday, there isn't a knit club at the library because it's bank holiday, isn't it? Easter Monday, so it's shut. So the first one I'll be going to will be the Wednesday one at Cleveland's. I should be all right for handling my scooter then, hopefully. Fortunately, it's a right-hand throttle, you know, on a scooter. You always get... They didn't give me a red one this time. They just said, oh, we don't have any wasps, bees, or sunflower seeds, or sunflowers. So I didn't get a red band. I'm not allergic to any drugs as far as I know, yeah. I was allergic to one drug, but it's not a common one. It was one they gave me for my diabetes and I reacted to it. I can't remember what it was called. I couldn't have it anyway. It was supposed to control your blood sugars, but it didn't. It gave me a terrible reaction. She said I was 1 in 1,000. Well, I knew that, didn't I? 1 in 1,000 that had a reaction to it. But she's put on my notes I can't have it anymore. I don't have to go back to the hospital anyway. That's the good news. I had my wound check and my dressing changed. Although I changed it myself today because it was getting a bit grubby. So I put a clean one on today. They gave me plenty of clean ones to put on. I could put one on every day, I'll be fine. And then I've got to go back on Thursday to have the stitches taken out. As I say, I couldn't get over how small the incision is, but it was... He did a lot of circling about. I don't know about keyhole surgery, but It felt like he was going through my hand to the side. I know they say you're not supposed to feel it, but boy, oh boy, did I feel it. I said, I still can feel it. He went, no, you can feel me touching you. He said, you can't feel the pain. I went, my hand, I'm talking about you. Don't tell me I don't feel pain. I got hives once from strawberries. Luckily, they didn't last long. I can normally eat strawberries, no problem. But one particular time, I don't know where these strawberries came from, but I ate these strawberries and, oh boy, big welts all up my body and my arms. Oh, I didn't know what it was because I'd eaten strawberries many, many times in the past. And I've eaten them since. Not got them. So I don't know what was wrong with these particular strawberries, but I felt like they'd been dusted in pepper or something. Some people eat, is it pepper on strawberries? I'm sure somebody said they put pepper on strawberries. Strange. Well, it's something weird they put on strawberries. I don't mean cream or sugar. So I wonder my dad was never diabetic because nothing was ever sweet enough for him. Any fruit or anything. He always had to put extra sugar on everything. It drove my mum up the pole. If he got to the strawberries first, that we're having for tea, he'd put them in a bowl with a drop of water and sprinkle loads of sugar all over them. And my mum would be going, oh, John, these strawberries are too sweet. And he kept saying, no, there's nothing wrong with them, they're fine. He just loved sugar. I'm so surprised he wasn't diabetic. He's the kind, do you want some tea with your sugar, Dad? Man, he was a coffee man. Want some coffee with your sugar? Somebody I knew used to put 4 sugars in the tea. 4. And I'm like, ugh. 4 sugars in a cup of tea. Yeah, it could have been pesticides or something that they put on the berries. I've never been allergic to them since. Just that one time I got the hives. I left them be for a few weeks after that. And I thought, no, I'll try them again. And that was absolutely fine. And the same with shrimps or prawns. But they do say it's the water that they're fished from. Because shrimps and prawns, they live at the bottom, don't they, of the sea. So, these days the seas are so damn polluted, aren't they? God knows what you're eating. Especially around here, they've been discharging the sewage into the sea again. But it's not just around here. I was looking at a map of where it's happening all over the UK. Just right before tourist season kind of puts people off going on their holidays, don't it? Knowing that they can't let the kids in the sea because they're wading in a sewage effluent. Sounds better than effluent discharge. We never had to think about that. When we was kids, we just used to, all you had to worry about was whether the sea was cold. Yeah, oil spills happen, don't they? We don't get any big ships up here anymore now because the ferries stopped coming to Fleetwood. The estuary silted up, so now they go to Heysham or Heysham, however they call it Heysham around here. So the fishing boats and that, the industry just died in Fleetwood. So there's no big boats that come this way now. So at least we don't get the oil spillage, we just get the sewerage. Or the sewage, I should say, not the sewerage. One time they blamed it. we haven't had enough rain. I thought, pardon? Are you sure? We haven't had enough rain? Seemed to be a lot of rain from where I was sitting. Yeah, all this technology there is in the world, and yet we still get sewage and oil spilled out, don't we, into the sea? Notwithstanding all the plastic bubbles and stuff that they say comes into the sea, don't they? All those little plastic things that are in cosmetics. And all the wet wipes and stuff that get flushed out to sea. It's all the modern generation, isn't it? All this stuff they keep inventing. We believe it all and we ladle it all on. Oh, I must have this cream with peptides in it or whatever. Get rid of the wrinkles. Nothing gets rid of the blooming wrinkles. You might as well just buy the cheapest cream in the world and just lather that all over. It's no good paying £100 a tub for some cream just because it gets rid of wrinkles, because it doesn't do anything different. A lot of them have got in trouble, weren't they, because they were like 99% water. And yet you were paying a fortune for these anti-wrinkle creams and stuff that were 90% water. You're better off just an ordinary cream, just ordinary whatever. I don't prescribe to this, you know. When you look at people like Judy Tench and Helen Mirren, and you know they've got filters on the television adverts, don't you? They're not like that anyway. Then you catch a glimpse of her in the newspaper where they've caught her off guard and she's got as many wrinkles as I have. You know, you're like, yeah, she's flogging her face cream, isn't she? It does. Look at the rosy glow or something. My mum used to use oil of Olay, it used to be called, not oil of Ulay. Was it oil of Ulay? They changed it, didn't they, to oil of Olay or something, more of Ulay. She used that for years and years, and so did my gran. Never used anything else. She didn't like Nivea because she said it was too greasy. I'm sure it was oil of Ulay. They changed it to oil of Olay, didn't they, for some unknown reason. And you think my mum used to put Nivea on me when I was sunbathing. It's a wonder I didn't fry. There was no such thing as, like, you know, sunblock or anything like that. It was Olay and then Ulay. I know it was one of the two, which way around it was. It's very watery now. It's not like it used to be. It used to be like a cream that used to come out of the glass bottle. But now it just, like water, it comes out like water. All these high-low regenerate creams and stuff that cost about 15 quid a pot. It doesn't do any different, does it? You just waste your money. Unless you can afford a facelift. I'd be too scared if I could afford one. I don't think I'd want people mucking about, pulling my sides up, pulling my chin up. Imagine, oh God, no. It's bad enough having my hand done. That was painful enough. Yeah, I know, they're pushing it at kids, aren't they? Kids in their 20s, you know, using wrinkle cream. God, I never had a wrinkle till I was about 40-odd-year-old. I mean, I've always took care of my skin, don't get me wrong, but I didn't use wrinkle cream. I just made sure I took all my makeup off and put cream on before I went to bed, yeah. Hasn't helped me because I've got wrinkles now, but I mean, at one time, oh, the fake lips and the fake eye, oh, and the fur eyelashes. Oh, The fake lips. No. I wouldn't want anything injected in my lips. My lips are super sensitive because of all the surgery I had on my top lip. So there's no way I'd let them come near me with a needle. It's bad enough when I go to the dentist. Can't cope when they come towards me with that needle at the dentist. Oh, go away. Oh, I wouldn't put fillers. Oh, God, no. I'm too much of a wimp to do stuff like that. It's not a question of money, it's just a question of me being a wimp. Not that I would have the money to do it anyway, but I'm just saying I'm such a wimp, I'd never have people injecting stuff. It's bad enough going to the dentist, isn't it, when they have to stick that damn big needle in your cheek. Oh, I wouldn't want to do it for fun, for vanity. No. It's like when I had my nose done. Wonderful shape, isn't it? Yeah. I didn't have my nose done for vanity. I had my nose done because it was broken. You can see, or is it on that side there? It's all dented in. It's going collapsed in now because the bone's missing there. So it's collapsing in on itself there now. No, I had it done because it had deviated at the top there and I couldn't breathe. I could only breathe vaguely out of one nostril and not out the other at all. So I had my nose operated on. There is no way I would do it for vanity. No way in the world. Yeah, but they come back, don't they, from Turkey with all sorts of bugs and stuff, and then they use the NHS, don't they, to sort themselves out when they get these flesh-eating bugs and everything. No, thank you. I'd be scared to go to the UK to have anything done, let alone going to Turkey. We went to Turkey, many years ago, and my friend, this lump came up underneath her armpit. It turned out to be like an ingrowing hair that had gone wrong. She got like this great, big, massive lump. So the bloke at the hotel who spoke really good English, Ramazan, he ran us to the hospital. And I'm not joking. I've never seen anything like it. It was like going back to Florence Nightingale's time. The trolleys had little tiny wheels. You see on a period drama when, the nurses, Florence Nightingale nurses, and the accident and emergency had no curtains whatsoever. So you were laying like looking at somebody who broken their leg or whatever, no curtains. And of course they wanted her to take her bra off because it was like a big lump under her arm. And she's like, no. Because the men across were like giving it all of this. She went, no, I'm not taking my bra off. Anyway, I don't know what they gave. They gave her 2 tablets. It cost a bomb. It cost about £40 for these 2 tablets. They were like horse tablets. They were like that big. And we said they were antibiotics or something. I don't know what they were, but my God. She took the 2 tablets and she was absolutely fine. They must have been like horse tablets. Normally when you're in the UK, you get a course, don't you, about 30 tablets that are very weak and pity-patty. These were massive. They were like Alka-Seltzers. She couldn't swallow them. She had to break them up to swallow them. She only had 2. 40 quid, I think it was for 2. That's going back about 30 years ago. But I'll tell you what, they shifted it, whatever it was. But I never forgot that hospital. It was like going back in time. It was so primitive. We take ours for granted. Should have seen the one I went to, the Spire. It was private. Oh, ooh la la, very posh. I mean, I didn't pay for it. I had it done on the NHS, but my God, was it posh. Yeah, that's the trouble. I always wary. I mean, especially now with the health issues, going on holiday. I mean, it costs me an absolute fortune for insurance. It costs me as much for insurance as it costs me to go and stay at these places. But you daren't go without it these days because, you know, something happens to you. Your family get bills for thousands and thousands of pounds, don't they? And then they have to repatriate you and bring you back on a plane, don't they? That costs another thousands and thousands of pounds, you know. I would never go abroad anywhere without insurance, even though it cost me more than the holiday. Because you never know, do you, what you're eating or what you're doing? It can give you anything while you're away. I watch horrible programs like The Monsters Inside You, you know, one of those programs. I watch them and think, ooh, you know, they've been swimming in some lake or other and accidentally swallowed some of these things that go into their brain and their ears, and oh, puts me right off. I thought you wouldn't even get me paddling in the sea. Oh my God, no, Lydia. I wouldn't want anybody messing with my eyes. It was bad enough I'd had my cataracts done. I was scared witless. It wasn't the operation. The operation was nothing really. It was just the thought of them coming towards me, messing with my eyes. And you're like, oh my God, one slip with that scalpel and I could be blind in one eye, you know. I mean, obviously I wasn't, but you've always got that fear, haven't you, when anybody comes towards you. Yeah, they're certain countries won't allow you with certain drugs in, even though they're prescribed. There was a case many, many years ago. Somebody went out to, I think it's changed now, but somebody went out to Abu Dhabi or Dubai or something, and they had like painkillers that they had over here. I don't know whether they were morphine or what they were, but they got stuck in jail over there for having, you know, these drugs. I mean, they do say to you when you go abroad, don't decant your pills into anything separate. You know, leave them in the actual boxes that they come from the chemist. Just take the extra ones out that you're not going to need and leave them at home. And then if they confiscate them, at least you've got some when you come back home. Oh gosh. I've sort of gone off going abroad. I mean, I want to go to these nice warm places, but on the other hand, I don't, you know. I'm like, oh, the flight and all this insurance and all this other stuff and that. And I'm like, do I really want to go? Yeah. No, I mean, I had mine done for cataract surgery. Then I had to have laser because stuff had started growing behind the lenses of my cataracts. The lenses they put in so many cases out of 100, probably about 2 or something out of 100, gets this growth that grows back, and it makes your eyesight go fuzzy. And of course, it had to be me, didn't it? Had to be. So I had to have them lasered anyway. Touching wood, they've been fine since I had them lasered. But would I do it for fun? No. I did it because I couldn't see, which is quite different to for fun. Would I want my eye bags removing? No. Nobody's coming near them, thank you. I'll just get nicer glasses or I'll get some kind of a face pack or something. Nobody's doing that to me. I suppose you think differently if your face is your fortune and you're like a a movie star or something and you're not getting any parts because you're looking older. But then again, you know, there are parts for older women, aren't there? There are probably not so many of them. But there's nothing so bad as some elderly woman looking pathetic because she's trying to be young again. You're not fooling anybody, are they, you know? They just look plastic and windswept and desperate, I think they look, really, don't they? I'm desperately trying to look 30 when people won't know I'm actually 60. Hang on a minute, love, you know, we know you're 60. And you kind of look it, you know, despite all your plastic surgery. Some have got, well, have had conservative surgery, haven't they? Quite a lot of them, and they still look natural. They can still frown, they can still pull faces and that. But others, they just go too far, don't they? You know, they look as though they're frozen, don't they, in time. You can't move their lips, their noses, their eyes. And they look a mess, don't they? You know, you feel like saying, who persuaded you to have that done? You know, it's just... I mean, I prefer to see a movie, a film, whatever you want to call it, where somebody's supposed to be somebody's mother who actually looks like they could be somebody's mother and not the sister, yeah? I don't like it. You know, the men are allowed to grow gracefully. And then this woman comes in who's supposed to be this 30-year-old's mother, and she looks about 25, and you're like, who are you trying to fool, love? Oh, I don't know. I've not took birth control pills since I was in my 20s. I think you need to ask somebody a lot younger than that. They gave me migraines. Didn't do for me. They don't do for everybody, do they? Oh, excuse me. My dandelion and burdock is repeating upon me. Oh, starting to go hot now. Gone funny. You'll have to see where I dribbled my dinner down. I don't think you can actually, so I splodged my gravy down my top. Oh, I've gone all hot. I've gone all funny. Oh, yeah. I've gone all hot, Chris. I've gone all funny. It could be the chocolate. Oh. I just had a funny moment. Oh dear, I won't be staying on very long, that's for sure. I'm sweating now, which I don't sweat. I do not sweat, but I am sweating. Oh dear. It is, it's just made me go, I don't know whether it's the chocolate that's made me go hot. All my fringes are wet through because I'm so hot. And I don't get hot. That's one thing I don't get is hot. Oh. Yeah, they're both upstairs, yeah. I'll be all right when I cool down. No, I'll be right. I don't have a fan, otherwise I'd put a fan on. I don't have one. Oh, you might not see it, but I'm going to bed now. Oh, oh boy. God, I'm going like a beetroot. I can see the red all around my nose and face. I haven't taken any pain meds today. Maybe that's why I'm going funny. Oh. Oh. I think it's passing over a bit now. Put my finger thing on. No, it's okay. 96 oxygen, 93 heart rate. It's not too fast then. Yeah, 97 oxygen and 100 heart rate, 101 heart rate. Oh dear. Keeps going up to 100, the heart rate. It's gone down to 91 now, so I think I'll live. Did this the other day and it was 120. It's gone down to 88, my heart rate now, from 101. So yeah, 96 is my oxygen level. Ugh. I don't think it'll be all right. I just wanted to check my heart rate wasn't pounding, but it's not. Yeah, it's calming down now. Oh, I thought I was going to faint then. Oh. I went all funny when I came out of the theatre. They had to get me to sit quiet and gave me water. I went all weird. I said, I'm going to faint. I'm going to black out. Yeah, no more eggs. It could be the eggs. 177 calories, whatever it was. Pushed my blood sugar up. least it wasn't a hypo anyway. Oh, no, it's calming down now. I'm cooling down now. The flash is going on. I think I'd be easy to make a seance with the Pope or whatever. Make an appointment with our GP. Took me all my time to get a nurse's appointment for my hand. I said to the nurse, I don't have to go through all that again, do I, to make an appointment with you for next week? She went, no, I'll boot you in. She said, they are a bit of a pain, aren't they? I went, a bit of a pain. I said, I was an hour listening to music to get this appointment with you. It goes to one of those call centres. It doesn't just go to your doctors. To make an appointment with a nurse, it goes to a call centre. They didn't even know where Fleetwood was. We have an appointment here. Apparently it's near Asda. I said, it's nowhere near Asda. What's it called? Yeah. It's called the walk-in centre. I said, well, it's nowhere near Asda. I said, but I know where it is. Well, that's the nearest landmark on the map. I said, it might be the nearest landmark, but it's not the same. Oh, I just had that shooting pain up my wrist again. And I haven't done any more knitting since I did those 4 rows. Call centres, oh, they're blooming hopeless. I had to call the bank through one of those stupid call centres the other week. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Can you phrase it a different way? So you tell them the same thing like in 3 different ways, and they said, have we answered your query? No, you flipping haven't. I said, can I talk to a human? I was trying to connect you. And then the 2 that were trying to connect me cut me off altogether. So I had to ring for the 3rd time. I said, will you not cut me off this time, please? What is your problem? I thought, oh, please, I'm not going through this again. I said, look back in the call centre. Look at my history. I've just called you twice already. And eventually, they put me through to a human on the phone, eventually, after about an hour and a bit. And I said, thank God, I'm talking to a human. They just give you set questions. And if what you're trying to ask them isn't among those set questions, is it this, that, and the other? And you keep saying, no. Oh, can you rephrase it? We did not understand you. So you do it again. And then you get, have we answered your question? No. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going, can I talk to your superior, or can I talk to someone in person, please? I will try to connect you. And then they cut you off. They've just got a script that they're bots out there. They're not even real humans. They're just bots. But they work off a script. And if you don't give them the answer that they're programmed for, they just can't go off. They can't go off. But when you actually talk to a human, they know, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about here. You explain it once to a human and they go, oh yeah, that's sure, that's fine. Yeah, I can sort that for you, no problem. They do, they're just programs, aren't they? They're just bots that work on a program. They're not a person on the other end of that. And they're just programmed to ask you certain questions. And you've got to answer them yes or no. And if they haven't asked you the right question, it's got to be a no, hasn't it? I mean, sometimes I get mad. I say, oh, forget it, They'll say, I'm sorry, I don't understand you. Forget it. Yeah, I've got to do an online one. I've got to type, why do you want to see? How long has this been going on? Has it gone worse in the last 3 days? It's gone worse in the last half hour. I've been trying to get an appointment, yeah. Everything is geared to people with these app phones now. I don't have one of those phones. I've just got an ordinary Android phone that doesn't do all this click on that square business, My phone doesn't click on a square. Even to send something back to Amazon, you have to click on this blooming square to send something back to Amazon. And I'm like, no, I haven't got one. Oh, you can't get through to a person on Amazon. It's really impossible. Why do you want to send this back? Because it doesn't work. Do you have a problem? Yes, it doesn't work. What would you like us to do? Give me my money back because it doesn't work. That square thing where you flick it with your phone, my phone doesn't do that. Everywhere you go now, it's click on this and click on that. I even got one from the Spire Hospital. When you do our survey, to about your experience, and it gives me a little grid thing. I thought, well, you've got no chance of me giving you a survey because I can't do the click thing. So no, you won't get a survey off me. Send me an email if you want me to answer some questions. Don't give me a click code. Oh, my son tried to do it, Nathan. He said, don't talk rubbish, Mother. He said, your phone will do that. It was to send something back with Amazon. And eventually he said, oh, no. So I had to print the email off and go to the post office and show them the email with this little square thing on. And she had to use her phone to get it printed out. But if you're elderly like me, you don't have a smartphone or a what phone or the latest thing. You just have a phone. I only use it for phone calls and sending text messages and looking things up occasionally. I don't have this. I can't buy things online with a click, My email on my phone. I do, but I can't read any of the messages. It tells me I've got messages, but when I come click to open them, they don't open. It tells me I've got a message, but I have to come to my computer to read it because I can't read the message off my email. I don't understand it, and I'm too old to start learning. I don't want banking on my phone. I don't want to click things with my phone. I'll give them my card. That should be enough for them. I don't want to zip with my watch and zip with my phone. I don't want to do that. I might lose my phone. I might lose my watch, Or what happens if your phone dies or something on you and you've got no battery life? So you can't pay anybody, you can't look anything up because your phone's died. Nah. I don't like online banking. It keeps saying to me, we are stopping sending you paper statements. But then, if you've got a query or something, they go, have you got the relevant statement? But if you can look online, it only does statements for so long. You've got to reapply, to get the statements that are back up. They only go, oh, what a performance. Well, I don't pay the bills now. I used to have all my gas, my electric and everything done on, direct debit. Phone, everything used to go on direct debit. Because with my problems, sometimes I couldn't get out, and there was no places near me that you could pay the gas bill, the electric bill, or something like that. Sometimes the bank won't take them. They'll take certain things. They won't take other things. The post office won't take them. Or you've got to go to such a place. I mean, in the good old days, there used to be the gas board used to have a shop. Electric board used to have a shop. So you could go in there with your bill and pay it, yeah. But all those days are gone now. Yeah, but I mean, it's too much for somebody my age to take in. When you've not been brought up with technology. I'd never even seen a computer till I was well into my 30s, 40s. Never even seen one, never had the need for one. Yeah, I used to go to the bank to sort any problems out. You used to go and see the manager, didn't you? If you had any problems with anything. If you needed a loan or you needed an overdraft. You used to go to the bank and make an appointment and go and see somebody. And they used to sort everything out for you. But now, I'm glad I don't need that sort of thing, because you can't get anything anymore. Can't get face to face with anybody anymore. I absolutely refuse to use those scan it yourself things in the supermarket. I'll stand in the queue for half an hour. Yeah, my bank in Prestwich closed down. There's still one here in Cleveland. I haven't transferred my account, but it doesn't really matter where your account is, apparently. But you can't get your money out. If you want to draw a certain amount of money out, who are you? Have you got your ID? Have you got this? Have you got that? What's it for? Why do you need this money for? And oh, God. You feel like saying, it's my money, don't be so darn nosy. What I want my money for. Cleveland's isn't bigger than Fleetwood, but it's better for shops and things like that. It's quite a busy high street, with a lot more choice of shops in Cleveland. Oh God, I couldn't get my own money out. I was going mad. In the end, I had to transfer it off to my daughter-in-law, and she had to go and draw it out of her bank because they wouldn't give me my money. You could be under duress because you're elderly. I'm like, no, I am not under duress. And I used to work with a fraud officer, so I know what under duress is. And there's nobody making me take this money out against my will. I just want my own money out of the bank, please. Thank you very much. But no. She went to find the bank manager and he'd gone on his lunch. Yeah. Yeah, I know it happens, Chris, with people being scammed, but touch wood, I hope I'm more worldly wise than that, to pay people. No, they haven't done that here yet. I can see it happening, Mimi. But it's hard to prove things if you haven't got it on paper. Yeah, it was like that at the bank. They wanted ID. They wanted to know what it was for. And I'd already told them. Yeah, I'm too poor to get scammed as well, Chris. They took one look at my bank account, they'd probably give me something. They say, oh, poor bugger. And I dropped my overdraft right down. You know, my overdraft limit, not my overdraft, I haven't got one. But I dropped it right down so that if anybody tried to, you know, take any money out going up to the overdraft limit, they'd be very disappointed because I've dropped it right down because I don't intend to go overdraft. At one time, the overdraft limit was so many thousand, and I went in and I said, are you joking? Giving me all that overdraft limit? I said, I'm a pensioner. I said, I don't even get that a year. And yet you're already saying I could, on my bank, you know, my limit would be so much. I said, no, drop it down. So if they wanted to withdraw money and go up to my limit, they'd be very disappointed. I left it a few quid, not much. Oh, God, it's grating. It's like COVID. When I had to go to the bank during COVID, we were all stood outside and you had to tell the woman on the door what you were going in for before they let you in. And I'm like, I've got an appointment for 11 o'clock. So if I stand at the back of the queue, I'm going to be late for my appointment. That's why I've come to the front of the queue. And everybody's giving me daggers. And there I am in a scooter, you know. I mean, obviously I can't stand in a queue. I said, I've got an appointment, you know, like for 11 o'clock, whatever time it was. She said, oh, we'll just wait there then and I'll shout you in when he's ready for you. Oh, the daggers I was getting off people in the queue. Oh, shoplifters are terrible. I don't know what they're like in America, but they're awful over here in the UK. People are thieving everything. It's not screwed down, it goes. People even thieve out of charity shops. I don't just mean here, I mean in general in the UK. Well, years and years ago, I think it was Iceland, used to have their legs of lamb and everything in plastic boxes with a lock on them to stop people stealing them. I remember being in Marks and Spencer's years and years ago. And I was looking at something and this, I think it was a woman, she barged into me and nearly knocked me flying. It was the years before I had a scooter. She nearly knocked me flying and she ran out of the fire doors with her arms full of clothes and shot off, and this security guard was legging off after her. But she was like a blooming Olympic runner. She was off. She had arms full of clothing. And he's like, did you see what she was like? I said, she knocked me flying. I didn't have a chance to. She just barged right into me. You don't look her up and down and say, oh, yeah, she was 20 with a scar on her forehead and she had red hair and that. You don't. When somebody's knocking you flying, you don't have time to look, yeah? Oh, they've done that with perfume for years, Lydia. You know, locking up perfume and stuff. But now they're having to do it with meat and certain things, aren't they? Probably butter as well if it's Lurpak. Oh, my leg's itching. I mean, they do it with alcohol, but that's been going on for years, hasn't it? Alcohol with tags on the top. I mean, I used to work at Asda. Must be 20 odd years ago now. I worked part-time with my own job as well. I used to moonlight as well and do 2 jobs. And they had the tags on the alcohol, well, the deer alcohol. I don't know whether, I don't do the local shopping anymore, but I don't think they do it for everything. I think it's just expensive things, you know, like the legs of lamb and beef and stuff like that. The thieves are always one jump ahead, though, aren't they? Well, when they get to court, Chris, they just say, oh, they were starving or they didn't have their money come through, wrap their hands, go away, don't do it again. I mean, they're making a living out of it, aren't they? People just want things for nothing these days. They're not prepared to go without like our parents did. If they don't have the luxuries of life, they just want to go and steal them. You know, when I worked at Asda, somebody crashed a car right through the double doors and pinched 2 great big TVs that were on display just by the doorways. Piled them in the back of this car thing and shut off. Yeah, smashed all the double doors through. Yeah, people moan when shops close down, but they've got to make a living like everybody else. And if they get targeted too many times, you can't blame them for thinking, right, enough's enough. I might as well just shut, you know. There isn't any shame, no. My God, at one time, if you'd have stolen even a couple of sweets from the pick and mix at one time, the shame of it all. Dear God. But now it's like a badge of honour. You know, it's dead easy to nick from there. There's no shame and there's no punishment. But we had respect. We were scared of authority. You were scared of what it would do to you. There was always a deterrent, wasn't there, hanging over you. And if it wasn't the law, it was certainly your parents, yeah. You know, I wouldn't have dared bring any, like, shame on my parents through, you know, pinching anything or stuff like that. God, my parents would have been mortified. I would have never heard the last of it. But nowadays, they don't seem to care. Yeah. It was instilled in me from being very young, you know. I don't say in fear of the police. You're not in fear of them, but you respected them. You didn't do anything wrong because you knew what the consequences were. So you just didn't go and do it, you know. It was a fear of the repercussions, you know. I remember once being absolutely mortified because for some reason or another I'd forgotten to road tax my car. It wasn't done deliberately. It was just an oversight for some reason or other. I don't know whether they used to send you out a letter or something, whether the letter didn't arrive, and I hadn't noticed. you know, that the tax disc was out of date, yeah. Luckily, somebody pointed it out to me and said, you know, Jan, do you realise your tax date is like 2 months out of date? I'm like, oh, shit. God, I wouldn't even use the car. After I'd found that out, I put the car on the drive and I was petrified of anybody noticing that my tax was out of date. Oh my God, I wouldn't have dared address our principal or headmistress. I don't even know what her first name was. She was Miss Myatt. I never knew what her Christian name was, ever. Just wasn't bandied about what she was called. She was just Miss Myatt. I still don't know to this day what her first name was. And I was at school with her for about 6 years. She was my headmistress. Yeah, I had to go to school once when my son was in the senior school. And as I was walking along a corridor to see the headmaster, the bell rang and these people just came out of all the classrooms and they knocked me flying. They knocked me into the wall. They knocked out, you know. And the headmaster, I said, I can't believe what I've just witnessed. And he said, what? I said, I've just been knocked into a wall. I said, knocked into a radiator by a wild herd of animals charging up the corridor, knocking me flying. I said, you know, no respect. And he goes, well, what do you want me to do about it? Do something about it, yeah. You know, you don't go knocking, you know, people. I could have been a school inspector. I could have been anybody walking down that corridor. Knocking me flying. I was just shocked, absolutely shocked. They were so disrespectful to anybody. It wasn't even like, oh, sorry, or they didn't attempt to go round me. They just went through me like I shouldn't have been there. And I said to him, well, which side of the corridor are they supposed to walk on? And he just went. I said, God, we had to walk one side if we were going up one way and the other side if we were going somewhere else. There was one side for up and one side for down. Woe betide you, you were on the wrong side when you were walking up. Same with the stairs. You could only walk down one side of the stairs. If you were going down, I think it was on the right. Coming up, it was on the right because you were walking up that way, and going down, it was on the right. So you weren't going downstairs when somebody was trying to come up them. Yeah, we had our rules, and we also had a boys' staircase and a girls' staircase. And I remember one time I was doing a message for somebody or other, and the teacher said to me, it's all right, classes are in, you can go down the boys' staircase. And I remember going down there thinking, oh my God, I shouldn't be down here. Oh my God, what if somebody sees me coming down the boys' staircase? I was absolutely petrified that one of the teachers would see me coming down the wrong staircase, even though the teacher had said, it's quicker if you go down the boys' staircase. Yeah, was it to the left? I know it was, you had to go up one side, didn't you? You weren't allowed to just go anywhere willy-nilly. It's common sense, isn't it? Because if somebody's coming up the stairs and you're going down, you could knock them over. They could hurt themselves. Because in the old days, there were all stone staircases. You'd crack your skull open if you fell down one of them. It's the old health and safety, isn't it? Yeah, my friend's son got pushed out of the way at a bus stop. Anyone that's a little not one of the in crowd, if you know what I mean. He's not disabled or anything, but he's just not one of the in crowd. You know, he's one of the more, well, the awful way to describe him is a nerdy kid. But because he is like a brainy kid, they just, you know, take the pee out of him, you know. Well, there's always somebody complaining on Facebook, you know, from one town or another. It's not just this town, it's other towns like, oh my God, the kids were shouting and bawling and carrying on and that, and they had such a school's uniform on. But nobody takes any notice. What, in the London, they just drive on whichever side they feel like it. We've got some kids round here that have a off-road scramble bike or whatever. And they insist on roaring up and down the seafront. No helmet. Two teenage kids, no helmet, just one on the back of the other. You know, all they need is one little accident and they could both get killed just by falling off, you know. And yet nobody stops them. We've got cameras up and down everywhere, but no, they must be seen, but nobody does anything about them. I mean, I go down the seafront and I always stop if I see a child or I see a dog, because both are completely unpredictable. They always jump in front of the scooter. I mean, I'd feel awful if I ran over a dog or... Oh, they have those little electric scooters that barge up and down the seafront on them. There's signs up everywhere saying you should limit your speed. I think it's 4 miles an hour or something. Nobody ever does, but... Or, you know, people have got to, you know, exist on this seafront, like, take care, think about others. There's signs everywhere saying things like that, but those little scooters, they don't care. They zoom up about 30 miles an hour. And they never have a helmet on. And yet if they come out, it's like, oh, my son, he was perfect. He was this, he was that. Well, why didn't you get him an helmet then? And tell him not to roar up the seafront at 30 miles an hour. Oh, there's a knife crime everywhere. It's awful, isn't it? It's not just one town, it's every town you go to. They've got their knives out. I have the Manchester Evening News online. I mean, I know it covers a big range of Manchester, not just where I used to live. And it's always some knife crime, some other kind of crime, something happening. All for no reason, you know. A lot of it's drugs, isn't it? Because they owe people money for drugs and stuff. There was a big fire in Blackpool the other day in like a hotel or a derelict hotel, and that was being used as a cannabis factory, and it just burnt it down. No danger of growing cannabis outside here. Just looking which glasses those were. I don't remember these. What are they? I don't know whether they're prescription ones or not. Just found them. They're not supposed to ride them like idiots everywhere. They're always young kids that have got them and they're running everywhere on them. They've got no control. Yet there's always a big outcry, isn't there, if anybody gets killed on one. It's always somebody else's fault. It's like when police get in trouble. You know, oh, their darling little boy who pinched a car was bombing along. And the police happened to chase him and he lost control and he killed himself. And they're, oh, my darling boy, and police inquiry. And I'm like, no, if he'd have stopped when he was asked to, it wouldn't have happened, would it? There'll be some fight or other, Lydia. Hi, Bear. I've got an itchy leg. It's itching at the bottom. Oh. I didn't put any lotion on after I had my shower. That's probably why. It's probably dry skin. Once you start itching something and you start to scratch it, then it makes it itch more, doesn't it? It's the scratch, itch, scratch syndrome, isn't it? That itchy coo system. Oh, let's see if anybody sent me any messages.
Well, I'm sorry. That's really probably not looking for it. That's all right.
Just wanted to do was on the camera. Somebody having something, my son having something delivered. Tenerife holiday warning. Ooh. Snow bomb is heading for the UK. We never get snow here. Here are your daily lotto numbers. Shall I see if I've won? I won't. No. Not even won a couple of numbers. I don't like avocado. I used to love the bagels they used to make. There was a shopping press which he won awards for it. And what's shiny? Oh, it's that. He used to win awards for his bagels. They were absolutely superb. And I've never tasted them as nice since. I don't really go for things like guacamole. I think I've eaten it once, but I wouldn't rave about it. I'm not keen on sushi. There's something about thought of raw fish that kind of puts me off. I know people rave about sushi, don't they? I did have it once. It was reduced, so I thought I'll try it. When I worked at the supermarket, I thought I'd try it, but I didn't rave about it, no. Yeah, you don't know what's in the fish, do you, these days? At least if you cook the fish, you've got some idea, haven't you? Hi, Jean. I'm a bit weird about street food. You know, you know, when you see people who usually when they're drunk buying off these burger vans at the corner of the street, and you're looking at them and you're thinking, oh, they look very unhygienic, and the people serving don't look very hygienic, and they don't have anywhere to wash their hands, do they, or anything, you know. I think, no. I watch a lady called Crafty Nana, and she's out in Malaysia at the moment, and she eats like street food and that, and I'm like, oh, you know, I thought Malaysia's hot. Do they have flies, you know? I don't like anything that's kind of not cooked. I mean, it puts me off that raw salmon dish, you know, and things like that, and kind of puts me off. What do they call it? That, and then there's fermented stuff in there, and roll mop herrings and things, and no, I don't like hamburgers either. I never understand why they're called hamburgers when they're not made of ham. I thought there was something different to our like beef burgers. I thought, oh, hamburgers must be different in America. They must be made out of ham or bacon or something. I was quite surprised when I found out they were made out of minced beef. Oh God, why have I got messages at this time of night? Watch Mimi Cat Do. We'll be live in 30 minutes. So when I've gone off, you can go and watch Mimi Cat Do. Yeah, what is that one where they call it? Where they do raw salmon and they salt it and do all sorts of things. Don't fancy that. Cod's the same though. Cod has little worms in it. Gravitas or something, is it called? Grass something or other? Something or other. It's raw salmon anyway, isn't it? I'm not a fan of uncooked things. I mean, when they say you can eat raw meat and that, I'm like, no, I don't want to eat raw meat, thank you very much. What's ceviche? Gravitas, is it called, that salmon dish? Something like that. We're not a lover of anything raw, really. Lox, yeah, lox is something like that, isn't it? Steak tartare, now that's all right, that's cooked, yeah. Lox is raw salmon, yeah. No, I'm sure it's called something like gravel lox or something. Gravel lax. They do it with a load of salt, don't they? They do raw. I watched somebody preparing it one time. They do it with thin salt, and then they put thin salmon. They put loads of salt and stuff on it, and At least the salt would kill the worms, wouldn't it, if it had any worms? The worms would come riddling out. My mum used to put salt in the water, you know, with lettuces and cauliflowers and things like that. And leave them in, like in the water with this salt to see all the little grubs come wandering out, you know, the little, what do they call them? Caterpillars and stuff. Come wandering out your cauliflower. It puts you off, doesn't it? I don't like avocado. I don't know what there is about avocado. It tastes kind of greasy to me. I just don't like the texture of avocado. And I don't eat sushi, so I certainly don't eat Indian food. There's one spice in Indian food that I do not like. I mean, it's supposed to be good fat, isn't it? Oh, bye, Mimi. It's supposed to be good fat avocado, but I just don't like it. It just tastes like greasy, oily when I put it in my mouth. I just don't like the taste of it. I'm not one for oil, even olive oil. It's supposed to be good for you, though, in small doses, though, isn't it, Sharon? Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather leave avocado. Other people, I mean, the family here, they love mashed up avocado with like a poached egg on top of it. And I'm like, oh, no. Poached egg on the toast, but leave the avocado off. I'll just have the egg on its own. My tastes are very basic. Cilantro. We call it something else, don't we? Oh, we call it something else. We don't call it cilantro. I know what you mean, but we don't call it that. It's one of them words that doesn't translate. Coriander, is it? Coriander. I like fish. I'm a fish person. Plain and simple, that's me. I'm not a lover of mince. I don't know what there is about it. I'm not vegetarian, but I don't eat an awful lot of meat, if that makes sense. I like some stews, but I'm not a lover. If I have a stew, it's very, very basic. I don't like it with a load of stuff in it. You know, it has to be just like meat, carrots, onions, potatoes for me. I don't like any other junk that goes in it, yeah. Yeah, I like carrots if they're done enough. I don't like al dente carrots when they're crunchy. I'll eat a raw carrot or a cooked carrot, but I don't like in between. I have to leave them. I have to put them in the bin. I don't like them when they're crunchy. I usually fish them all out of the stew and leave them at the side and then throw them in the bin. Lamb is really dear these days. It's always been more to the expensive side of meat, but these days it's gone really, really dear. I used to love spring lamb chops, but now, very rare. Very rare we have them now. Oh, minted lamb chops. We used to get them. They were big. They were the bone in the middle. Leg chops they were. Man, I used to like the proper pork chop that used to come with a bone and it had the kidney bit or whatever it was with it. But these days, pork doesn't taste of pork anymore. Yeah, there used to be big, thick chops with the fat on them. I used to grill them very slowly. They used to be lovely. Now they're like rubber. You're chomping your way through. They stick in your teeth and you're eating them for about 2 hours after you've ate them. I've gone off meat for that reason. Chew, 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 chew. No, they don't have. Yeah, they banned the bone. They banned the bone in the T-bone steaks and things like that. Yeah, due to that mad cow. Yeah. No, I don't eat much. If it was left to me, I wouldn't eat a lot of meat anyway. It's coming salad season soon anyway. Yeah, they wouldn't let you have the bone in chops or anything, or T-bone steaks or anything like that. We never had T-bone steaks very often. It was kind of like a really big treat for us that I would get a couple of T-bone steaks. We used to have a mixed grill as well every now and again, where you have sausage. They used to sell it as a mixed grill thing. You get a chop, a sausage, whatever, bit of bacon, an egg, kidney, or was it a bit of liver or something like that. They used to sell these like mixed grill, what they used to call a mixed grill. And you could get mixed grills when you went out to the restaurants. My dad always had a mixed grill. Couldn't eat it now. I can't eat a big meal at all now. Oh, I'll be glad when summer comes, Jean, yeah. It depends on the carvery, Lizzie. It does. Some carveries are good. Other carveries, not so good, so. They're all done on different franchises, so you can get a really good one or you can get one that's not so clever. Most carveries, well, the one we go to is usually okay, but the last time I went, the veggies were half cold and they weren't cooked through. So it kind of put me off. I mean, we've been since, but I've had something different. I don't think I've seen T-bone steak over here, Chris, not since COVID. Or is it Mad Cow? I don't think I've seen. It's probably too expensive. People can't afford them now. Yeah. Anyway, it's getting near the witching hour now, and I'm getting very, very tired. So I think it's time me and the hand went to bed. So I will say thank you for your company as usual. And hopefully I've got nothing to make a video with in the middle of the week. Yeah, I'm going, Nathan. Yeah, I'm getting tired now. My eyes are drooping. I can feel them going. It's time for my beddy bows. We're losing an hour, aren't we? So, you know, it might be almost midnight, but then it's kind of like 1 o'clock to us because the clocks go forward, yeah. So I'm losing an hour. If I go to bed now, I'm losing an hour. So if I stay up any longer, I'll be losing even more, won't I? So thank you all for your company, and I will see you all very soon. So bye for now. Me and the poorly hand will say, look at the bruising. See the bruising, can't you there? I always turn my hand the wrong way, don't I? All the bruising, and it's all in my palm as well. So bye for now, and see you all very soon. Bye now.